She forgot our anniversary, but remembered her ex's birthday. It started like any other morning. I woke up to the sound of her alarm buzzing softly beside me. Maya groaned, stretched, and rolled away from me, mumbling something about meetings. I lay there quietly, waiting. I'd even practiced what I'd say, "Happy anniversary, babe," for years today, but nothing came from her side. No glance, no kiss, no, "I love you." I smiled anyway, thinking, she's just tired. She'll remember. By the time she left for work, still nothing. No hint of recognition in her eyes, no warmth in her voice, not even a rushed goodbye. Just the sound of the front door clicking shut as she disappeared into another day. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the small velvet box in my hand. Inside was a silver bracelet engraved with the coordinates of the beach where we first met. I'd spent weeks planning dinner at her favorite restaurant and even gotten the manager to save the same table we sat at on our first date. I tried not to let it get to me. People forget. Life gets busy. Maybe she had a surprise planned. Around noon, I texted her, "Me, happy anniversary, love. Can't wait for tonight." No response. I figured she might be in a meeting. Maya was a social media strategist and always had a packed schedule. But by 2 p.m., I saw her post a story, a picture of a cupcake with a candle on it. The caption, "Happy birthday, D. Still miss your stupid laugh." D. That was Derek, her ex. The one she said was completely in the past. The one she claimed had left a scar, not a memory. I stared at my screen. I remembered the fight we had a year ago when I found out she still followed him on Instagram. She had told me he's just a part of the past, that's all. It doesn't mean anything. But now, on our anniversary, she remembered his birthday and forgot our milestone? I called her. No answer. I waited until 5:30 before heading to the restaurant anyway. I sat at the table alone, the bracelet box in my coat pocket. The hostess gave me a sympathetic look after I waved away the menus for two. I ordered a drink, then another. By 7:15, I stopped checking the door. At 7:32, she texted, "Maya, sorry, babe. Crazy day. Can we just chill at home tonight? Rain check? No, happy anniversary." No mention of dinner. No sign she even realized what today was. I didn't reply. I couldn't. Instead, I walked home in the cold drizzle, still clutching the bracelet in my jacket like a fool carrying hope. That night, we barely spoke. She was on her phone, scrolling through reels, giggling at memes. I asked her once, gently, if she remembered what day it was. She blinked. What? Oh God. Is it someone's birthday? I shook my head. It's ours. Her face changed, guilt washed over her like a slow wave. Oh shit. I'm so sorry, babe. She reached for me. It just completely slipped my mind. Work's been insane lately. I nodded. But you remembered Derek's birthday. Silence. She looked away, then back. That was just a post. It didn't mean anything. You said the same thing last year. And the year before that. She opened her mouth, then shut it. No excuse this time. The silence between us said more than words could. We didn't break up that night. Not immediately. But something cracked. Something unspoken and fragile. Like the quiet realization that the person you love remembers someone else more clearly than they remember you. Over the next few weeks, the distance grew. Her laughter came less often. My texts got shorter. The bracelet never left my coat pocket. Eventually, I packed a bag. When I left, she didn't ask me to stay. Just stood in the doorway, arms crossed, and said, "So that's it." I shrugged. "No. This was it," I said, holding up my phone. Her story from that day still saved in my gallery. That was the moment I stopped being your favorite memory. I didn't slam the door when I left. I just closed it quietly, like the ending of a story neither of us wanted to admit had already been written. Months later, I saw a post from her, another cupcake, another candle, same caption, "Still missing someone else." I didn't feel pain, just peace. Because for once, she remembered him, and I'd finally remembered myself. Time, they say, heals everything. But what they don't say is that healing doesn't always mean forgetting. In the first few weeks after I left Maya, everything hurt. The silence in the apartment I moved into echoed too loudly. I missed the smell of her hair on my pillows, the sound of her keys in the door, even the way she hummed off-key when she cooked. But I didn't miss the aching silence that came from being forgotten. From loving someone who was always half-present. I started therapy. Not because I wanted to get over her, but because I needed to understand why I stayed so long after I knew I wasn't the one she loved most. About 8 months later, I saw her again. It was unintentional. I was walking into a bookstore, something I used to do with her on lazy Sundays, when she came out of the coffee shop next door. We locked eyes. She stopped. "Mason," she said softly, voice uncertain. "Hey, Maya," I replied. Her name still tasted bittersweet. She looked different, softer, more tired. Still beautiful, but in a more worn-in kind of way. "I heard you moved," she said. "Yeah, new job, too. Different part of town." She nodded, then looked down. I never got to say, "I'm sorry for everything. I don't know what I was doing back then." I shrugged. "You were still holding on to something that wasn't me." She winced at that, but didn't deny it. "I kept thinking about that night," she said. "When you left, I watched the door close, and I knew I wouldn't be able to open it again." There was a long pause. Then she added, "I don't talk to him anymore." "Derek, that doesn't change what happened." "I know," she whispered, "but I thought you should know anyway." After we said goodbye, I walked a few blocks and sat on a park bench. I pulled out my phone, opened a drawer of saved photos. There it was, her post from our anniversary, the one that broke me. I deleted it, and for the first time, it didn't feel like letting go of her. It felt like letting go of the person I was around her. That night, I found the bracelet still sitting in a small box in the back of my closet. I turned it over in my hand. The coordinates were still etched into the silver, our beach, our moment, the version of us that had once made sense. I drove down to that beach the next morning. The sunrise was warm, and the ocean wind sharp against my skin. I walked to the edge of the rocks and tossed the bracelet into the waves. Not out of anger, but as a quiet goodbye to the life I thought I had, to the future I once clung to. A year passed. Then another. I met someone. Slowly. Carefully. I didn't tell her about Maya right away, but when I did, she listened without judgment. She asked, not why I stayed so long, but what I learned from it. And that's when I realized, being forgotten by someone you love teaches you to remember yourself. Being second teaches you never to settle for anything less than first in someone's heart. And pain, real pain, teaches you patience. It teaches you how to start again. I don't know where Maya is now. I don't follow her life. I don't wait for her posts. I don't remember her birthday. But sometimes, when the wind shifts just right, and the tide rolls in gently, I remember that bracelet. And I smile. Because letting go wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of mine.